It's a bear. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmark with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals, staring down a big, giant snook down right there. Gosh, those things are so fun to catch. I don't know if any of you have ever fished out there much here locally, but one of our better sport fishes just went right by us. Well, beautiful day out there. Look at the water clarity and blue skies. Doesn't look like as much rain as we were going to have. And let's move along to markets. Let's see how blue sky markets are today. And spot prices kind of hovering where they were yesterday, holding on to that 1800 mark. And silver is holding on to that $25 plus mark. And platinum around 1080 right now. Let's see what the ranges were here. 1793 to 1806, 25 to 2533, and 1075 to 1086 on platinum. So kind of range bound, but tomorrow is Friday, and it could be a monkey hammer Friday. I'm kind of halfway expecting it with markets showing it's not a lot of weakness or anything like that, but there's not a lot of strength we're looking at here in gold and silver prices right now. But no less, it seems to be just quiet in general. I think kids are going back to school soon. I think this is typically our quiet time of year. We're quieter than normal. So, so I believe the markets in gold and silver and platinum are kind of showing that as well. So good time to, good opportunity though. Like I said, below $2,000 gold and below $30 silver and below $1,200 platinum to me is just a double steal, not just a steal, a double steal. I think it's a great buy. I can see, in my opinion, I think we're going to fly past that $2,500 mark in gold and $35 in silver and pretty handily $1,200 for platinum, or if not more. I still think platinum is way undervalued. Again, that's just my opinion. And these metals are a good buy. The other thing I wanted to note to a lot of folks out there is the premiums have come down substantially on 90% specifically. US 90 is cheaper. What else is cheaper? 100-ounce bars, 1-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars. They've all become, availability is starting to pick up a little bit more. Is that because there's more silver available, or is that because physical buyers are backed off? Maybe a little combination of both is going on there, in my opinion. No less, premiums are getting more reasonable on all the different silver products. It seems that way, at least. U.S. Morgan dollars and collectible type coins seem to be going right through the roof. They're really high. Wouldn't recommend buying them right now. That's my opinion, unless you're a collector. As far as silver eagles, they're down a little bit. It looks like the buy price and the sell price down slightly, but still they're pretty high. They're still up there. It looks like a $5 to $8 or $5 to $9 spread as far as the buy and sells on the wholesale level goes. That's still too high in my opinion. And maples look like they've come down a little bit as well. The $2.5 to $4.5 spread on maples. Again, that's the wholesale spread. Don't expect to pay that yourself personally unless you get lucky. And let's see what else here. Well, proof silver eagles and that kind of thing. I definitely stay away from those. And gold, good deal. Eagles have even come down $50 to $95 in that wholesale spread. Again, the bid and ask range, give or take a little bit over under those prices I'm giving you right there. Maple Leafs 25 to 50, Krugerrands 25 to 50. So yeah, premiums. Well, I did notice premiums on gold started to fall a little while ago. Now we're starting to see silver premiums fall a little bit. However, I'm kind of curious to see what. They were falling slowly and incrementally, and supply was getting a little bit easier to come across just recently. But remember, silver's gone down about $1 from where it was, and we were almost 29 bucks a month ago, or not even, I think. So I'm kind of curious to see what this does to physical sellers out there and people that are selling physical. Are they going to hold back a little bit and wait for higher prices? That's a possibility. As I said, I do think there's a silver shortage out there. Not too much to read in Zero Hedge today. Typical news. And again, oh boy, there's a big arrow showing that person. But again, not too much to talk about, and that has a direct relationship with gold. All this news, all this negative stuff is positive for gold, silver, and precious metals overall. And because it is, the reasons. And so let me take a look. There was an article I liked down here. I actually clicked the link, and I think the link is next right here. Oh, there it is. This is done by one of my favorite writers out there, who I feel would be on the exact same page as, by Egon von Greyers. And again, I'm sure I butchered that name, and I apologize there, Egan. And then maybe I butchered your first name too. But no less, I do like what you write. And let me kind of gloss over this or read some of this. I don't want to read the whole thing, but I'll probably end up doing that. Investors may hope that the biggest financial experiment and debt bubble in history will last another 100 years, and they can pray that the currency system has lost 98% of its value in the last 50 years will last another half century. What Egan's getting into here is the collapse of the markets and the economy. And remember we talk about this all the time, is that the United States dollar is the longest lasting fiat currency in history. Nixon took us off the gold standard in 1972, and since then we are the experiment. And it's really going downhill from there. Historically speaking, there has been no successful fiat currency out there that's lasted. No empire lasts forever, whether it's economic, whether it's political. They just don't last forever. And we're seeing the result of that in buying power and how the Fed's having to bail people out. There's big changes coming, folks, big changes. And one of the things you can do is protect yourself by buying gold, silver, and platinum. After all, if you really think about it, central banks, we did a video yesterday and I showed you pretty much what central banks have their money in. Central banks don't buy, they don't buy their own currency. They don't sit there with vaults of their own dollar bills sitting in a safe. Inside their vaults are not dollar bills. It's not passwords to their crypto accounts. It's not, diamonds, and it's gold, folks. It's gold. They have gold in their vaults. Why do central banks have gold in their vaults? Why are central banks trying to buy more gold? Why they pump out more fiat dollars to you? Who do you think that gold belongs to as well? Do you think it belongs to us? That's pretty funny. Let's move along here. So he talks about that, the risk of collapse. And again, I'd like to have you guys read this article yourself. It's done by Gold Switzerland, and The Paper Gold Tail Wagging the Golden Dog by Egon von Greyers. It's good stuff, man. And someone has to show me how to pronounce his name correctly, too. So financial insurance is dirt cheap. And more or less, he's talking about gold being financial insurance, or what I call wealth preservation. What the so-called experts don't realize is they hedge your investments with the same instrument that created the risk at the first place, such as paper gold. This would be a real financial tautology. And boy, that's not a word I'm really familiar with. Sorry about that. With both investment markets and insurance industry, I'm going backwards here. So he's talking about they're putting their insurance into paper gold, which is really dangerous. I agree with that 100% because those are going to be, when the markets start to collapse, paper gold markets will collapse with it. We saw it happen in 2008 when the prices just got hammered. Paper gold prices got hammered, but meanwhile you couldn't buy physical out there for even close to what the spot prices were during the 2008 financial crisis. You thought Gold Eagles, when gold was below $1,000, Gold Eagles had a $200 premium plus delayed delivery by months at one point, and generic silvers were bringing $5 to $7 over. Again, when silver was in the what is it, $12 range or what it was? I forget exactly what it went down to. However, you couldn't buy real metal at those prices, and that can happen again. That's again what'll get hit in the next financial crisis. When the financial crisis comes, and it's going to happen, I've said it many times before, and I believe it's going to repeat what happened in 2008. You will wake up and you'll see everything across the board just down. It'll be, in fact, our next financial crisis is likely to be way worse than the '08 crisis by how many dollars they spent since then, or how many dollars they wasted since then, or created out of nowhere. No less, the 2008 financial crisis, you woke up in the morning, everything was down, you look, you say, well, hey, gold should be up. It wasn't. It got hammered as well. But again, that was the paper gold prices and silver prices that got hammered. And I wasn't unable, and most people were unable to take advantage of that. In fact, people were scrambling to buy real gold and silver. It was a really interesting time, other than going through the 1980s. But very unique, not like the 1980s. And I think we're going to see that again. Oh, boy, I almost got out of his article. Insurance that withstands a test of time, And let me see what he says here. At the beginning of the 2000s, we decided to invest in physical gold in a substantial way for our own funds. And I believe that's probably when we saw, that's when the precious metals started to go up. It's funny, we talked about that yesterday in the video yesterday too, when I was showing you the graph of the gold price, the 100-year chart of gold price. In 2000 is when that other market started to go into 2012 before it got monkey hammered by governments and their flunkies. So since the 1990 bottom, gold was stabilizing at the beginning of 2000. We considered the 20-year correction was over and we bought gold at 300, which was a super smart move. Like I said, it's funny he's talking about this because we were talking about this in the video yesterday. 2002, and let me see what else he's saying. Let me move along here. Again, I want you guys to read this article. I'm kind of skipping over it pretty fast. The paper gold tail wagging the golden dog. When the tail wags the dog is in a state of disequilibrium that is transitory. Man, that's my term. When the tail wags the dog. That's what I've been saying about paper gold for a long time. So I'm 100%. This guy, gosh, I think just like him. I think this type of imbalance can only last for a limited period, or the dog will not survive. There are two options: either the dog will take control of his tail or shed it. The tail cannot survive without the dog's body, whilst the dog can cope very well without the tail. So that's basically what's happening is with premiums in gold and silver that you saw, and you will probably see more premium. Premiums get stiffer, product become less available, and that's going to be because of right now what you've got with the prices we're looking at on screen, with silver prices below 30 and gold below or around that $1,800 mark. It's nothing but paper prices. It's driven by paper. It's not driven by real metal out of London or COMEX. It's a big sham, folks. However, we're kind of, until the tail disconnects, which it started to do a little bit with premiums, and I think it'll happen again. We follow the paper price. That's the whole deal. The fake paper gold market. He goes into the whole fake paper market, and I'd read the rest of this, but it's almost verbatim what we've been talking about for quite some time. But really, really good article. And again, is 50% of central bank physical gold lost forever? I mentioned yesterday that with Venezuela asking for their, $1 billion worth of gold back from London, and London's got them haggling in court right now, saying, well, we don't think you're the legitimate owner, when they really are. Who is London to tell another country that their elections were fraudulent, especially given what we went through this last year ourselves here in this country? Meanwhile, does that mean that if another candidate had won our elections last year, if Mr. T had won last year's elections, would London have held our gold if they had gold and said, no, you're not getting it back until he's gone? Well, that's kind of what they got going on right now, and I don't think it's because has anything to do with the elections in Venezuela. I think it's because London does not have that $1 billion worth of gold, or it would put a great strain on them to give it back. They're wrangling in courts, and I agree 100%. I think that the central banks have leased out a lot of this gold. They're in big trouble. Again, something we talk about frequently over the last year on these videos. Buying insurance must not be finesse. Gold is much more than insurance. Great article here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I've got a couple people actually waiting for me downstairs, and I got this video done a little bit late, so I do apologize. GATA.org, great site, as I always say. If you don't have them on your bookmark bar, then you really don't know what's going on in the gold and silver markets, and you are an amateur stacker. I'm just going to say it. So definitely you must have GATA.org on your bookmark bar, because they tell you who the players are. The only article I saw in here which was pretty cool, and I read it over, it's more like the history, Potosi, the silver mine that changed the world, out of Peru. Good article. I'm sorry, good listen. Definitely would recommend you hit that read more, and there it is on YouTube. Worthwhile. So, and I'm going to move into the videos from yesterday real quick. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to make this video too quick, but it's Thursday, not a lot happening. Maybe tomorrow's video will be longer. The real conspiracy, and I spoke about a lot of this stuff that we were just reading in Mr. von Egan's articles. boy, I kind of lost my train of thought there. So that's exactly what we were talking about, is where the gold is, where the London gold is. So let me take a look and see if there's any questions I can answer. And oh, that was a pinfish for sure, sir. I've been trying to figure out who has the power to short the silver market and manipulate price to $25. It has to be Elon Musk. You know, Mark, I don't believe it's Elon Musk. I think it's governments that control the price of, you know, price of silver and the price of gold and the price of strategic metals they consider important to industry, which is important to their tax base. I believe that it's governments, and Ted Butler talks about this particularly with gold, but it's governments that are keeping the price down. Central bankers also want to keep the price down. Remember, gold is a canary in a coal mine. When gold starts going up, it's alerting other people that there's issues out there. And especially when you start to see central banks buying gold and wanting their gold back. There's something going on big, and we all know it. Again, let me move along here. And let me see. Oh, it looks like there's another one of those scammers. You know, it's funny. Here, read this here. I don't know if you see this, but they put their phone numbers in here too. This is so lame. Mr. Johnson's made me millions of dollars. We're constantly deleting these things out of our comment sections out here. But if you guys read some of these, they're brilliant Nigerians that do this. I'm sure of it. It's definitely not that person. And what else we got going on here? It's good to get a local coin store point of view. Appreciate you taking time to share. Well, you're welcome, sir. Thanks for watching, Ray. And I do believe that shopping local is very, very important, whether it's coins, jewelry, whatever it may be. Shopping local, keeping that money local is important. Excellent video. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate you watching as always, and you, Inspector Jason, and Sarge, and all you other folks. Not too much to talk about right here today. There's lots to talk about. Actually, I can go to each one of your Silver High. I can talk about each one of these forever, and you know me. I would if I could. But again, super busy today. I kind of got to run out a little bit early. So El Cheapo, best products, best buys out there. And what are the best buys? Right now, I think that you can get a lot of product for, let me look at the silver maples here, 450, 550, 550 and under. So spot plus 550 and under would be my my target for silver. And as far as gold goes, I would say try to keep it under $80 an ounce. And let me take a look at the gold sheet here, actually, because the price on 1 ounce bars has fallen as well. 45, 80 bucks. So spot plus 80 bucks or less in quantity is what you should be paying for gold 1 ounce bars and cards. KRs have come down a little bit, and as I said, Eagles have come down a little bit, but still the best buy out there is gold bars, in my opinion. And where do you get this stuff? Well, I advertise to beat from your local coin store, and here's one of them right now. And hey, they're small. They're a little homely looking at times, but and they may have chickens running around, especially if they're in Key West. But no less, keep that money local, folks. Help your local coin store, which helps your local community and everything like that. I know some of them are a bit grumpy, but you know, as I'm local, I advertise to beat the three big guys online: JM Bullion, SD Bullion, Atmix Bullion. I can beat their prices. It's easy for me to do, and I think your local coin store should be able to as well. Well, that's it. I got people ringing me and looking for me, and I got to run. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime at 954-493-8811 if you're local, and we can help you out with your precious metals purchases. Happy to do it. And the one thing we can offer that the big online guys can't is personal service and giving you good advice. We're always happy to do that. Well, thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow, and have yourself a wonderful day. Bye now.